So another vocabulary lesson today, ways of looking. I've done ways of walking, ways of talking and ways of looking. I read them a long time ago in an Oxford Learner's Dictionary book. And I want to just say quickly that a dictionary is a very useful tool. Please use them when you're learning a language, obviously. And if you want any other examples of these words, the dictionary has plenty. I'm not being funny, but all students have to work for themselves, otherwise they're not going to make any progress. You shouldn't really depend on me to always give you examples, so please look in the dictionary because they've got hundreds and thousands of examples of lots of different words. But of course I know some questions the dictionary can't answer, and so please put them below the video. So anyway, I'm going to try and give you some examples of all these different ways of looking. The ways of walking, talking and looking can be used in every single English lesson you ever have, because every single time you speak English you need to talk about people talking, walking and looking. So you get plenty of opportunities to use this vocabulary. Please activate it. Next time you're in your English class, use them when you're speaking to your teacher and see if you use them correctly. So I've tried to separate out all these verbs of looking. We've got ways of looking in an angry way. Now frown is very easy for me to show because you just pull your muscles across your forehead like that and you look disappointed with someone. So frown expresses disappointment rather than anger, or it could be anger, but it doesn't sound as strong to me as glare, which would be a really angry stare. Now I've put stare here in brackets because even stare can be used in an angry way. Stare actually means just look for a long time, but when you look at someone for a long time you're often angry with them. So if you're angry at someone or angry with someone, that's the preposition we use. We also use this preposition with a lot of the ways of looking. Yeah, look at someone, frown at someone, glare at someone, stare at someone, gaze at someone, glance at someone, gape at someone, peep at someone. A lot of these words take at, okay? So glare would be very angry stare. For long periods of time you can say stare, but you can also gaze at someone with loving eyes. Now gaze is a very loving way of looking. It's not an angry way of looking, it's a very loving way of looking, and it's not sexual like over here with ogle or leer. You can gaze at the stars and it means that you are in love with the stars. You're an astronomer perhaps, or an astrologer, and you gaze with love at the stars. So you're a stargazer. Now gape or gawp at someone sounds like your mouth is open with both of these, as well as looking at someone, so you're like that. So there's a lot of surprise when you gape at someone or gawp at someone. You're absolutely shocked and your mouth is open. You're like gaping at them, gawping at them. So yeah, this is quite common. If somebody is shocked or surprised and their mouth is open, we'd use these. A quick look is when you glance at someone or you catch a glimpse of someone. Be careful with this word because there are a few different ways you can use it. Again, please look in the dictionary, it's online. Just have a look at all the different ways that can be used, because I'm not going to go through them here, but you can find a very clear list. I generally use Oxford, but Cambridge is good as well. Okay, these two words, peep at someone and peek at someone, this is when it's not allowed. So you can peep at the answers during a test, or you can peek at a little piece of paper that's got all the answers written on it. Because these are not you're not allowed to do that. But you can also peep through the curtains if you're spying on someone or watching someone or being nosy, watching the neighbours, that kind of thing. Then you peep through the curtains or you peek through the curtains. So you can use through with these, peep through some kind of opening to see something that you shouldn't. Okay, so peep and peek are not allowed. We've got some which mean examine. You can scrutinize something, which means examine something in detail, very closely, in order to completely understand it. The same with inspect. When you inspect someone's clothes, then you're scrutinizing them. You're looking for all the messy bits or checking to see that somebody is very smartly dressed. But yeah, you can inspect a lot of different things. I think when you're in the army, you might have an inspection of your bed and that kind of thing. Make sure you've folded all your clothes up and made sure that you've got discipline and you've tidied up your space. So they might inspect your bed. Peer is very often used, in my opinion, when you peer through something for a long time, examining it. You can definitely peer through a microscope. You can definitely peer through a telescope. When you're gazing at the stars, you might peer through a telescope and look at the moon or something like that for a long time. So peer, it's very often examine, but through some kind of equipment or object. You can peer through the window as well if you're examining something for a long time outside, but I think very common with scientific equipment. So ogle and leer, it sounds like a dirty look, and what I mean is you're looking at the object of your desire and you're showing it with your eyes, so you look a little bit perverse. Maybe these are quite negative words usually. They might be accompanied with wolf whistling or something like that, but when you make your intentions clear to the object of your desire, then you are leering at them or ogling them. You're watching them but making it clear with your eyes what you want. Okay, there are some other ways of looking here. You can blink, which just means both your eyes shut at the same time. So blink is like that. Okay, blink. You can also wink at someone. Wink is just one eye. Wink would be just one eye. And squint, I've put here in the closing section because it's when they're half closed. If you can't make something out, if you can't see something properly, maybe a sign, a road sign, you might squint at the sign, which means half close your eyes in order to make it out, in order to understand what's actually written there on the sign. So squint, it means half closed. If it's a very sunny day and you're in your car, you often squinting because the sunlight's hitting your eyes, so they're half closed. That's all it means, squint. You might also flutter your eyelids or bat your eyelids. Notice how this one sounds very innocent. It could be that you're fluttering your eyelids at the object of your desire again, but it doesn't sound like ogle or leer. I would say that these sound like quite male words. I would only expect a man to ogle or leer. I don't often hear about women ogling or leering, but I do hear about them fluttering their eyelids, and that one doesn't quite sound so sexual. Basically, it sounds a little bit more like just innocence, and yeah, perhaps they're trying to attract a man, certainly, but they may flutter their eyelids or bat their eyelids to get attention. Okay, phrasal verbs. Make something out means to be able to see it properly. If you can make out the sign, then you can read the sign. So it's when you can make something out, you have the ability to read it or see it and inspect it and scrutinize it and understand what is written there. Okay, you can also scan through documents, look through documents, skim through documents, leaf through documents. It just means look very quickly through them. Okay, you can find some more phrasal verbs on the phrasal verbs with through videos, which are related to this. And I've put some phrasal verbs with look. Look something up in a dictionary. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, please do use a dictionary. Please do look words up. And please use Google as well, because sometimes I get asked which word is more common. And we're very fortunate now because Google can tell us this straight away by simply putting in these words and seeing how many results come up. Now, that doesn't mean it's necessarily correct, grammatically correct. That's a big question, and I think grammarians will argue about what's the correct way of saying something or not the correct way, but language changes and it doesn't necessarily listen to them. So please use Google. It's a very useful tool for finding out which words are more common or less common, more frequent in a language, more frequent in a Google search. Okay, so please look up new words. Look out, it means be careful, watch out, some kind of danger is around. You usually use it as an imperative and say, look out, there's, I don't know, a rock coming down the hill and it's going to squash you. Okay, if you look up to someone, you admire them. So you look up to your heroes, you look up to your favourite authors, you look up to your favourite musicians or whoever. You look up to them, you admire them. And if you look down on someone, it means you disrespect them. It means you think they are lower than you, smaller than you, and you are the big superior being. So this would be disrespect. It's the opposite of look up to. Okay, I'm sure there are other ways of looking, but that's all we've got time for today. Please ask questions under the video, and I hope to be able to answer all of them, but try and look at a dictionary first and look at Google first. If that doesn't give you the information you're looking for, please ask under the video, but I like students to show that they have a lot of self-reliance, because I don't think anyone's going to get anywhere learning anything if they don't check online, check on the dictionary, check on Google first. Anyway, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you've enjoyed this lesson, and I hope to see you all soon.